here we go into the running backs. Moving into running backs. We got Darrel Williams for the Kansas City Chiefs. Clyde Edwards-Helaire had the MCL sprain. You put on Instagram, you're like, if you watch the video, it looked like he tore his ACL.
I mean, yeah, if you see the highlights, it's, he gets rolled up under and his knee just goes backwards and sideways. And, I mean, when you see it, you're just thinking, like, okay, he had to have torn something. Like, I don't know.
Right.
I honestly don't know how he didn't tear something when he did that. So,
God's making ACLs better these years, I guess.
Yeah, luckily for him, it's just a sprained MCL. It's not even a sprained ACL. So,
and MCLs, you can come back in a couple weeks, usually.
Yeah, a couple weeks. So he'll probably be out. I'm going to guess, we'll see if they put him on IR, because IR is at least 3 weeks. So if they don't put him on IR, that's a positive sign that he could be coming back. So, he should come back going forward. But, yeah, I mean, for right now, Darrel Williams seems like the guy you'd want to go get. Obviously, Jerick McKinnon's there as well, and we'll touch on him in a second. But, if you had the number one claim right now, are you knowing that CEH is only out for a couple games, let's just say 3, 4 maybe, are you still trying to go out and get Darrel Williams just because you're basically on like a 3-game rental, give or take?
Yeah, I'm not super excited about it. We can touch on it in a second with this other guy, but there's like some rumors about them making moves. How I look at it like this: how excited was I about Clyde Edwards after these past 5 weeks?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I'm not super excited about how Clyde Edwards was doing, then why would I be super excited about Darrel Williams? I think it's still it's not that I'm not going to go and attempt to make this move if I need a running back in a league, but I'm just saying is, it's kind of the opposite of what we were talking about with Cam Akers and Darrell Henderson. Remember, I made the argument, like, if you're excited about Cam Akers, why aren't you excited about Darrell Henderson?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of the opposite there. So I still think that this is probably like one of the number one waiver claims you should do for if you need a running back. But there's a wide receiver I think is more worth picking up.
Foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing, baby. But yeah. That's just kind of my thoughts on Darrel Williams. As far as how much fab I would spend on Darrel Williams, probably like 15% or maybe 17%. I don't know.
See, for me, I'm kind of, even though it's like a kind of a 3-game rental, like I said, because CH should be coming back at some point. If you're telling me the starting running back for the Kansas City Chiefs is on the waiver wire, even if it's 3 games, he could be the difference of why you win the next 3 games to put you in a good spot to make the playoffs. Or say if you're 1-4 in a league and you got to turn it around, I'm kind of going all in on this guy just because, like I said, give me the starting running back on the Kansas City Chiefs. Maybe this guy can help turn my season around for me if possible. And for what it's worth, CEH, I know you're not the biggest CEH guy. I think I was like one of the CEH truthers out of all of us on the podcast. But CEH was coming off 2 back-to-back 100-yard rushing games prior to getting hurt. Obviously he looked terrible. He wasn't getting anything done on the ground or through the air against the Bills before he left with an injury. But in the games that he was playing, this is kind of a hashtag interesting stat right here. In terms of carries inside the 5, Darrel Williams has 3 carries inside the 5-yard line. CEH has 0. So it's like when they were getting in close, it was like Darrel Williams is the goal line back. So that's pretty gross. He converted 2 of those 3 carries, 4 touchdowns, and he was tied with CEH with 10 targets. So now you're getting rid of CEH. I do think Jerick McKinnon will get involved to a certain degree here, but when they get in close, it's going to be Darrel Williams who gets these goal line carries. And does he see 15 to 20 touches a game? I think so. So, yeah, I would be pretty hyped if I could get Darrel Williams on my team, even if it's just for 3 games. Because, like I said, those 3 games could kind of, kickstart you in the right direction and potentially save your season, or just boost you and kind of keep you going. Like if you're 4-1 or 5-0, that could be 7-1 or 8-0 potentially.
Right.
If you get a guy like this. So, yeah, I'd be all in on it if I could.
Yeah, I think he's definitely the number one running back waiver claim you got to go for. How much percentage fab would you put?
Man, it's crazy because we've seen, with the whole Elijah Mitchell thing, week 1, I think it was like some guy. We've seen guys go like 90% of their fab.
On Elijah Mitchell.
Even last week, Damian Williams. I saw people go 60-70%. Yeah. So I'm assuming if you want him, you might have to just full send. And it's like I said, even if it's just 3 games, it's like it's kind of, Because I don't think 15%, like 17% you're saying, I'm not saying that's not the right answer or wrong answer, but I don't think that'd be enough in my opinion. I think you'd have to go because it is the Chiefs. People are going to think like
21%.
I would think like 50. That's and you might not even get him at 50 to be honest.
And then this is like you got to look at how much fab other people in your league have.
Yeah.
As well, because there's like you said, there is people who spent a ton of money on these other running backs. So you might be lucky in a situation where if you have a lot of fab, you can put 17% of your fab, and that's more than the next guy has, possibly.
This is not good for CEH though, because I feel like he's banged up. He's going to miss a couple games, so now he's out of your lineup. But if Darrel Williams comes in and he performs at a high level, I would think this would turn into he's already getting all the goal line carries as it is. So when CEH returns, if Darrel Williams is balling and does well, I think this would turn into like a full-blown running back by committee. So this just isn't good for CEH owners in general. But
let's go on to you touched on it a little bit. I just wanted you to give your opinion. Would you put any fab, or would you go pick up Jerick McKinnon as an ad maybe later in the week?
So, I would be picking up McKinnon because I do think that they're going to utilize him to some degree. When I was watching the game, I don't know if it was just game script or they were chasing, but 2-minute drill, whatever it may be, he was out there for a good amount of snaps. So he was running a lot of routes. I mean, a lot of the routes were just kind of in the flats, and we kind of see Mahomes doesn't really target the running backs for whatever it is. It's because that guy's looking to throw the ball down the field. He's not looking to check down like a 5-yard pass. He wants to throw a 50-yard pass. But I was kind of having right here in my notes, like McKissick 2.0 question mark. Like, is he going to be like a J.D. McKissick in a sense, kind of for this offense? Because he's a capable pass catcher out of the backfield, and the guy's, I don't want to say electric, but I mean the guy, does have some speed and some burst.
I mean he had
repertoire.
He had some good games again when he was on the Niners as well.
So, I mean, if everyone's going to go all in on Darrel Williams, if I can sneak McKinnon on my team and just kind of stash him and see what happens.
All about it.
All about it, because I feel like he's going to fly under the radar. And, if I can get Jerick McKinnon on my team, I would definitely be trying to get him on my team because you don't know. I don't think they're going to give Darrel Williams 100% of the snaps. I mean, even if it's 70-30, McKinnon can utilize that 30% of the time he's on the field to potentially get it done. Especially in one of the best offenses in the league. So, I'd be trying to throw in a sneaky little fab bet or, if you're in the back end of the waiver claim, you got 7, 8, 9, 10 or whatever. Let everyone try to get the, Darrel Williams, Devonta Booker, the receiver you're going to touch on. And then, I'll throw one in McKinnon and see if I can get him. And if it works out, cool. If not, then, you took a shot.
Yeah, totally with that. Okay, let's go on to our next guy here. You just said his name, Devonta Booker, Saquon Barkley, just pretty much.
Did you see that picture of his ankle?
Yeah. Well, did you see the play that it happened?
I did not, but I just saw the picture of the ankle.
The play it happened on was the play was developing on the left side. It was like a pass, and Saquon was running like across in the middle of the field, and he was just looking at the play. And he's looking this way, and then he just happened to like step on this guy's foot, and his ankle rolled over.
So he didn't even have the ball?
No.
Oh my God!
Yeah. The whole it sucks so bad. It's literally like the most unlucky player. If you watched how it happened, you're like, dude, how the fuck did this guy get hurt?
Like Final Destination type shit?
Like truly, yeah. Let me go find it. I'll find it and I'll pull it up for you to see. And if you're on YouTube, you can see it too.
But I did see the picture. His ankle looked like a balloon. It was wild with how big it is. But I mean, Saquon goes out. Luckily, there's no like structural damage. He didn't break anything. It's just a low ankle sprain, which is actually good news compared to what if it was a high ankle sprain. High ankle sprains will take sometimes 6 weeks, plus to get back from. So I hate saying it that it's Saquon and the guy's not human and he can get back faster than normal. But I mean, his ankle looked.
Yeah, look,
it's pretty bad.
So I lied on it. The pass didn't go to the left. He passed it over his head, and then when the ball went away, he was looking this way, and then that's when it happened. But check it out, it's right here. He's walking. That's how it happened.
Oh my God! Yeah, what?
He just rolled his ankle on his foot. He literally just like went to put his foot down, and
it's
then
it's because he's got to carry those quads around.
Yeah, bro, he's got too big of quads. He's a quad. What do they call that? Quad reduction. I mean, they'll show it in slow mo, and I think they should. Yeah, right here. I mean, he just literally.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, he just literally was walking across after the play was over, and he happened to just roll his ankle on the guy's fucking thing. I mean, that you said Final Destination. I mean, that's right. It's right there.
Yeah, that's pretty gnarly. But yeah, so Saquon goes out. He's gonna miss a couple weeks. So in steps Devonta Booker. Played 88% of the snaps after Saquon left. So it looks like he's gonna be the guy that they are relying on going forward. He had 19 touches, 16 carries, 3 receptions. He got a touchdown as well. You know, obviously a guy where if you're in need of a running back or if you're the Saquon owner, you're going to be going out and trying to get this guy 1,000%. But like another guy where kind of like Darrel Williams, you're on like a weekly rental. So we'll see if they put Saquon on IR. If they do not, then that should mean within 3 weeks, Saquon should return. But yeah, I mean, he's a starting running back in the NFL. Like I said, he's playing 88% of the snaps, got you 19 touches. You like that type of volume. The only bad thing I can say is that the next 2 games are pretty tough for him, especially with this Giants offense. Maybe no Danny Dimes because of the concussion. No Kenny Golladay. We still don't know if Slayton and Sterling Shepard are going to come back. So this Giants offense is just kind of in disarray, and it's falling apart. But yeah, the next 2 games, they play against the Rams and Aaron Donald. So that's not a very good matchup right there. And then they play against the Panthers, who have one of the best front sevens in the NFL. So just some tough matchups to just keep in mind if you do go out and get Devonta Booker on your team. But like I said, I mean, if the guy's going to see, 19 touches and goal line work, I mean, we could see a similar situation where it was kind of like Wayne Gallman last year. If you remember Wayne Gallman, he was getting you like I said, he'd get you like 18 touches. He'd only get you like 50 yards, 60 yards maybe on them. So his efficiency was pretty low, only averaging like 3 yards a touch. But he would get you a touchdown like every single game. So if that's what he can get you, at least he'll be like a low-end RB2, a guy who, like I said, if he can get you 60 yards and a touchdown, maybe he's not going to win you your week, but he's not going to lose you your week. So because I don't see too much upside in this Giants offense with all the injuries they have, and then, going against the Rams and the Panthers the next 2 weeks, and then potentially Saquon comes back 3-4 weeks from now. So, yeah, I don't know how crazy I'd be going to get Devonta Booker, in my opinion. I mean, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, go get Darrel Williams. Devonta Booker, when he got drafted by the Broncos, he didn't – I think it was what – that was like pre-Royce Freeman. He didn't really do much there. I do think you're right. He is a starting running back, so there's that regard. But tough matchups. There's other players that I'm more excited about going to get. Darrel Williams, whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, if you're like, I know a buddy of mine, he was telling me he has Saquon and like that was it. Like that, he has no other running backs. So for him, like if you're like that, you're pretty much going all in to get him because it's like you need him as your handcuff, and then you need a running back in general. So, I mean, if that's where you're at, then yeah, you got to go out and try to get that guy. But yeah, I just don't like the upside, compared to Darrel Williams, where it's like, hey, this guy's going to be a starting running back for the Chiefs. Give me that guy over the starting running back, not named Saquon Barkley on mediocre Giants offense.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to Khalil Herbert. So this was pretty interesting because everybody rushed out and got Damien Williams last week. But Khalil Herbert and Damien Williams had 19 to 18 touches. He ended up with 75 rushing yards, which is actually like 11 more yards than Damien Williams had. But Damien Williams had the touchdown rush and like 20 yards receiving. So what are your thoughts on this? Because they had, I think, pretty much almost even snap percentage. And he, yards per carry, Khalil Herbert was actually a little bit better.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he actually outsnapped Damien Williams. It was 53% to 48%, but like you're saying, it's pretty much right down the middle, and 18 touches each, like you said. He gets 0 targets compared to Damien Williams, who got 3 targets. But, I mean, if we're going to use like this one-game sample size as to what it's going to be going forward until Montgomery comes back, I mean, this is going to be a running back by committee, and they're going to want to run the ball a lot. So, to me, I think they know that Justin Fields isn't ready to be this guy, this gunslinger.
Yeah.
So I think they want to utilize the ground game. They want to utilize Justin Fields' mobility. They want to utilize the running backs. 36 touches pretty much between those two guys combined. So they want to lean on the run game is what I'm trying to say here, which is, and if it's going to be a running back by committee, I mean, yeah, go out and get Khalil Herbert and put him on your team. This is just not good, kind of side note. This is just not good for a guy like Allen Robinson. I think a lot of people were saying in preseason or draft season, once Fields comes in, it can only boost Allen Robinson's potential.
It's
But I mean,
literally
as
the
an Allen
opposite.
Robinson owner in a league, we were just talking about it off air. I pray to God that Andy Dalton comes back. Like, I never thought I would say it, but I pray to God Andy Dalton comes back, and they're smart enough to put him in the lineup, because Andy Dalton, in my opinion, gives them the best chance to win. And who would have ever thought that we'd be saying this? But God, I miss Mitchell Trubisky throwing the football to Allen Robinson.
Yeah.
I would have never thought I would say that in a million years. But I really wish Trubisky was still there throwing the ball to Allen Robinson.
Yeah.
But yeah, Khalil Herbert. It's
What about
50-50.
Nick Foles?
You're on a team that wants to run the football, and you're getting 50% of the snaps. Yeah.
What do you
sign
think?
me
Do
up.
you think you could just add this guy? You think that he could sneak past the waivers?
So I was seeing him getting added here and there in a couple leagues, kind of flowing under the radar. Maybe like a Jerick McKinnon in a sense, like I said. Where everyone wants to go get, Darrel Williams. Everyone wants to go get Damian Williams. But you get these guys like McKinnon and Khalil Herbert, and they fly under the radar, and you swoop them up for like pennies on the dollar, or. So yeah, I'm not mad at it.
But you're saying that, like, that was more last week. People were doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, are you trying to grab him and get him on your team?
Khalil Herbert.
They play the Packers this week at home. They're at home against the Packers.
My thing is like an end zone, like in the red zone. Will it be Damian Williams, Khalil Herbert? That's the thing. Because like I'm in a league where I'm in a league. I have David Montgomery and Dalvin Cook, and I have Madison and Damian Williams as backups. So it's like, I think I'm just gonna roll with Damian Williams for now, and just hope he gets the red zone carries and is able to score over Khalil Herbert. But I mean, in that situation, I'm not going to get two Bears running backs.
Well, yeah, because you have two of them. But I mean, in terms of red zone carries, I would assume that whatever running back is on the field on that drive will finish the drive. Like I don't think Herbert gets him down inside the 5, and then they're like, all right, Damian Williams get in, and vice versa. I don't think Damian Williams gets him to the 5, and then they're like, Herbert gets in. I just think whoever's in on that drive finishes that drive. So it's kind of a coin flip on which running back will be in there when they get in close to potentially get that goal line carry. But then also on the same time, like, this Bears offense is not very good. I mean, they're not scoring 30 points a game. I feel like if they score 20 points a game, it's like that's good for them. This Bears offense looks terrible. I think Justin Fields looks terrible. Maybe he gets better. I get it, he's a rookie, only a couple games, but he looks terrible to me, in my opinion.
Hating on Justin Fields. Okay, let's go on to the next running back here. We got Marlon Mack. This is a speculation, huh? Because you're hearing some rumors. You're hearing some people talking in the hallways.
Yeah, this is what they said. They were like, Marlon Mack. Kansas City Chiefs. So yeah, I got a little report in the morning saying there's kind of some speculation or some rumors that the Chiefs might trade for Marlon Mack, and I don't know how true that is. Obviously, sometimes people just want to throw out rumors and stuff like that. But Marlon Mack requested a trade. The Colts agreed with him. They're like, hey, we will trade you. We're just looking for a trade partner. So maybe it's just because of the injury and stuff like that. But I don't think this gets done, to be honest. I think the Chiefs are confident enough in a guy like Darrel Williams to kind of be the guy, especially when they're so pass happy. They don't really need to rely on the running back as much as they like another team like the Bears in a sense. So, but I mean, for what it's worth, if he does get traded over there to the Kansas City Chiefs, you could argue that he would be the best running back on the roster right away over Darrel Williams and Jerick McKinnon. I mean, he's a guy who can do, he can run the ball and catch the ball out of the backfield. So, but then, like I said, he wants to be traded. So who knows? Maybe he goes to another team. Maybe he goes to the Giants.
It's just like
it's just like you just don't know.
Put a waiver on him. I would say just maybe add if.
Like, I'm not mad at stashing him and just seeing what happens. I mean, we are getting closer and closer to the trade deadline. Like I said, he wants to get traded. The Colts agreed, hey, we'll trade you. So it's just interesting to see where he could potentially go. And maybe he lands in a good spot. Maybe he doesn't. But just something to monitor.
Yeah. Monitor it, baby. Hey, did you like that video? No, not the one of Big Ben completely eating shit when nobody even touched him. I'm talking about our fantasy football video we just did. You just watched. Well, guess what? That was just a clip from the full audio podcast. So if you want to check out the whole thing, links down below. AVG Fantasy Football Podcast, Stitcher, Spotify, all of them. Anywhere you can get audio podcasts, we're there. Go ahead and check it out. And if you don't want to look at your fantasy team to look the way Big Ben does right here, wait for it.
Come on, replay. This is your fantasy team.
But that won't be your fantasy team if you subscribe to AVG Fantasy Football. So go ahead, subscribe and like this video. Subscribe to the channel and like.